Hello everybody, my name is SnipingIsFun, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another update video. Now, a collection update video, I mean. I know I haven't done these in a very long time. I remember I used to do like movies and games like a year or so back whenever I did it, and then I just got off track because I kept getting more stuff here and there and so busy I didn't really get to update, and I forgot what I had and what I didn't have and blah blah blah. But unlike those videos where I just update where I'm currently at on, whatever I picked up recently, this I'm just going to do a video that's like kind of like an update showing all of you over YouTube a certain collection of mine, and it's going to be basically my anime collection. And I don't think I've ever done something like this on YouTube before. I know I've shown various little anime related things here and there in my update videos, my collection update videos years ago when I was showing off games and movies and whatnot, and I do remember when I showed a lot of my older stuff, I did maybe show some old VHS tapes and whatnot. This is going to basically be trying to show as much of it as I can in one big video that's just basically centered around my anime collection. I'm going to hopefully try to be quick about this because I think the battery's kind of dying a little bit here. So if this video goes by pretty quick and I don't discuss a lot of things a whole lot, now you know why. So let's get this started here, and I'm going to basically start with the biggest part of my collection that I basically consider, and that is basically my collection so far. Give me a second here; it's a whole lot in my hands of my Studio Ghibli collection. What I currently have in my Studio Ghibli collection. Studio Ghibli has made a lot of great anime classic movies over the years, like Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Castle in the Sky. And I own about 14 movies here. So I basically have Castle in the Sky. I really like that movie a lot. Whisper of the Heart, probably one of my favorites, my top maybe 10 for sure. Kiki's Delivery Service. I'm sorry if I can't really see it because of the lighting in here. Probably my favorite Studio Ghibli movie. I don't know. I really like the characters and the concept and the story. It's so magical. I really like this movie. There's Spirited Away, a classic. Princess Mononoke. I really like that one too, probably my top 5 somewhere too. They're all good movies, but there's some I like a little more than others, and everybody that's watched Studio Ghibli movies will basically have the same thing. Howl's Moving Castle, I like that movie quite a bit. My Neighbor Totoro is a real big classic, and I do remember I used to have, I believe, a VHS tape of this back in the 90s when I was growing up. I do recall, I'm sure this was it, and it was a movie, and I think this was it, and I think I used to own the VHS tape when we got rid of it. Now that I have the Blu-ray DVD, that's quite handy. Or maybe that's just a DVD, I don't know. Then there's The Secret World of Yeti, one of the newer movies to come out of the last couple of years. It's actually quite an interesting movie. Kind of cute, kind of, whimsical, like, lighthearted. Tales from Earthsea is quite a classic of a, action, fantasy type setting, and it's Hayao Miyazaki's son, Goro Miyazaki's first movie, and I'd have to say for a first time, at least Studio Ghibli-wise, it actually goes fairly. I liked it. From Up on Poppy Hill, I can't say much about this yet because I have yet to watch it, but I'm going to get to it tonight. And the same thing with The Wind Rises, which is basically Hayao Miyazaki's last movie in Studio Ghibli. And another one I haven't seen yet is the most recent one, at least come out in America, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, which I really like the art style, kind of like, an old Japanese painting. And the last two, I'm going to quickly get these out of the way. Pompoko, quite interesting tale on environmentalism and saving the environment. And Porco Rosso, which is actually quite an interesting movie in and of itself as well. And that's currently what I have for Studio Ghibli. I still need to get the likes of Grave of the Fireflies, Cat Returns, Ponyo, Nausicaa, My Neighbor the Yamedas. I really wish I could get Ocean Waves and Only Yesterday, but they're not. They never were dubbed over. I'd have to probably find them online or something. But yeah, that's about it for my Studio Ghibli collection. I really like a lot of Studio Ghibli movies. There's just a certain charm about them that makes them really interesting. And it's not just the Hayao Miyazaki ones, it's all of them. All of them are good in some way, shape, or form. And interesting, worthwhile anime movies to watch. Especially, even if you're not into anime. It's like a lot of people say, even if you're not into anime, you would enjoy Studio Ghibli movies. Let's get into this right over here. Now we're going to get into some series. Devil is a Part-Timer. I got this on sale at Best Buy. I looked at it. It looked kind of like a comedy, kind of like an interesting show. I have yet to watch it yet, but it's on Netflix as well, so I'll get to it eventually. It's going to be an anime I do intend to get into soon. And it does look quite interesting. It was on sale. I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I give shows a chance, especially if they're cheap enough. It was like $20 or something like that. It was on sale, so, worthwhile for that. Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. You should know me by now after watching a ton of my videos. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. Probably one of my favorite animes of all time. It is a classic. Battle of the Gods was a pretty cool movie. It kind of mixed like what made Dragon Ball, but also what made Dragon Ball Z. It had the action of Dragon Ball Z, but like a comedy from like Dragon Ball. Maybe it went a little too much on comedy. Some people would say that. I actually quite liked it, and the battles in it were quite interesting. Another set of movies that I have yet to watch yet, but I intend to. Robotech, Shadow Chronicles, as well as Love, Live, Alive. Like one of them I think is from one of the original ones, I think from the 80s, and then one of the more recent ones. I like stuff like Gundam. I like mechs especially. So I gave this a shot when I saw that Best Buy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. I've heard of Robotech. I've never really watched Robotech. That's the whole thing. But it's in my collection, and it is on my to get to list really soon. Akira, which is the 25th anniversary edition of it. So it basically has the original English dub as well as the new one, as well as the Japanese dub. Now, a lot of people probably seen this movie years ago. My first time seeing it was when it was shown on Toonami in 2013. The holiday Christmas marathon movies they had. That was the first time I ever saw it. I like it a lot. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite anime movies of all time, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. It does have a sense of an atmosphere, character, story, art style to it that I think could draw people in, and it's like it has a lot of content, and it's kind of I don't know exactly how to put it, but it's a movie that any anime fan should see at least once. We have Afro Samurai, which is I haven't really got to watch this yet. See, I'm gonna be telling you if I have had a chance to watch them yet or not, because basically I'm trying to not only watch the shows that I have in my collection, but I'm also trying to watch stuff on Netflix and on Hulu, and I'm trying to do this all in between doing work and school and whatnot. So if I say I haven't watched it yet, doesn't mean I don't want to watch it. It just means I haven't got to it yet. But Afro Samurai has been on my list for a while, and there's that, and it's like a big action-y based show, and there's that. Appleseed Ex Machina. Got this when one of the local Blockbusters were going out of business for about $12-13. Hasn't been opened yet, but it's on my list to get to. It's very sci-fi-ish. I like sci-fi. And I have heard of the Appleseed type series of movies and whatnot, the Machina movies and whatnot in the series. And I have seen Ghost in the Shell before. It's from the same creators as Ghost in the Shell, and colored me interested. I'm like, it was going out of business and it was on sale. It was cheap. I'm like, I can give it a shot. Like I said, if something's cheap enough, I give it a shot. And here, probably one of my favorite things in my collection, the Tenchi Muyo movie collection, Blu-ray DVDs. I have watched these movies in recent memory, I think a couple months ago. I love me some Tenchi Muyo. And they're all worth watching, especially Tenchi in Love 1. That one I think was my favorite. I thought Daughter of Darkness was pretty cool, and Tenchi Muyo in Love 2, Forever, was actually a pretty good movie as well. I do have the first season of Dragon Ball Z, which is the digitally remastered version. Not Kai. It's the I think they went back and they were like modifying, like adding like making it look better, and I think they redid some stuff and added like more episodes or stuff that they didn't do the first time. The Saiyan Saga is always worth watching. You probably want to hear sagas of the series. Here we go. I have part 2 and part 3. Yeah, set 2 and set 3 of Ranma 1/2. I really love me some Ranma 1/2. It's one of my favorite. I don't have part 1 though, because when it was out and I seen that Best Buy and whatnot, I never capitalized on buying it in time, and then it just disappeared. So I did focus on getting at least parts 2 and 3 of Blu-rays. They're strictly Blu-rays, and man, these things. I mean, I've seen more expensive animes, but these things were like $40-50. And I don't intend to get the entire series if it's going to be all that, but I'm going to probably get the first few, so I can at least see the earlier episodes, which I never finished Ranma 1/2 when I was watching it a few years ago. I did see majority of the seasons. I never got to like the last couple, like last 2 seasons. I don't know how long the series was, but I never got to the full end, but I've seen majority of the show. I do like the comedy of it. It's kind of cute, kind of, action-y sometimes, but then it's not no Inuyasha, the same creator, but, Inuyasha was more action-based and still had, like, that romance and that, cutesiness, like, for some characters, and, like, the story and the whimsicalness, but it did focus on more of action. This was more of a comedy show, a romance show, too, and it's worth a watch. If you guys have ever seen, it's on Hulu, and you can probably find it on YouTube and whatnot. You can probably find it online, Crunchyroll, probably. I have no idea. But, yeah, there's that. Like, it is worthwhile to watch. I did see Inuyasha first, but I would say I probably like Ranma 1/2 a little bit more. Next show, Cat Planet Cuties. Now, I do remember showing this on one of my update videos a few years ago. I got this, like, back in 2013. It is an interesting show. You would think it's kind of would be very ecchi, very, perverted, and this is Blu-ray and DVD, I believe. And very, fan servicey, and it does have that, but it actually quite surprised me when I watched it last year. It does have some moments where it can be quite serious, especially near the end of the first disc, when it gets to a certain part of the story that I think if people have watched it, they know what I'm talking about, when they reveal a certain character and the backstory on that character, and some of the other events that happen. The only thing bad about this is it feels like there should be more. There's no legit conclusion to this series. It needs more. That's the only negative I have on it. Right here, the entire season 1 so far of the Viz Sailor Moon redub. I haven't gotten to really watching much of this yet. I did see the first episode. I did watch the first episode, and I have to admit it really, really, really is quite good. I mean, I do still have nostalgia for the old Deke dub, the old dub you would have saw back in the 90s and on Toonami and whatnot. I do have love. I do still have a whole lot of respect and stuff for that show. I mean, they did censor a lot of things, but you have to admit what they did do a fairly good job with it, and it is a nostalgic, series still to go back to. But now you can kind of experience it how it was meant to be experienced. And that's my main thing when it comes to that scenario. And I'll put these away so I can kind of get to the next case. Now I'm going to show these. Now this is going to mainly be for Japanese animation, but there are going to be a few things in here that's probably American based or Western. And I wanted to show this mainly because I do really like the series, and it's kind of inspired a lot by Asian culture and anime a bit. But I did want to show as my collection the complete Korra, Legend of Korra, Avatar Legend of Korra series. Book 1, Book 2, hope I have these in order. Book 3 and 4, which I just recently got this past weekend. I really do like Last Airbender as well. Sadly, I don't own any of those. I need to go back and actually buy those. But I do own Legend of Korra. And I just wanted to show those two, even though this video is specifically for Japanese anime. I wanted to show that these are in my collection because I really do like the series. And it is part of my animation collection in general. Basically, this is also technically an animation collection in general video as well. There's this case right here. Now, I never really even watched this series, and I got this as like a gift a few years ago, and it's only one part of a series. You know, when you buy those, and how they used to sell parts like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, on like, you know, there are only a few episodes on each DVD, especially back in the early days when they first started using DVDs. But March and Awakens Romance. I think I remember hearing of this show before, but I never really watched it. And the weird thing about this is episodes 5 through 8. So if I do watch it, I need to catch myself up on the first few episodes in order to get to this. So there's that, and I mean, it looks interesting because it does kind of look like. I'm trying to remember what series I'm trying to make it look like. Shaman King, was it, or like Rave Master or something like that? Looks like very similar to that. The X-Men Marvel animated series, which, you know, is kind of like taking the X-Men characters, making an anime based off of them. And here we get to Soul Eater. Now, I did start watching this series a few years ago on, I think, Netflix, was it now? Yeah, I think Netflix. And then it eventually came on Toonami, like at the end of 2013 and the early 2014. And I watched it on that, and I loved this series quite a bit. And I'm like, you know what? I have to buy it. So I bought the complete series, all 51 episodes, you know, DVD. It has comedy, it has action. It's really quite an interesting show, and it's worth the watch. Give it a shot, especially if you like you know, action-based you know, anime. Here's a movie, Naruto, the movie Legend of the Stone Galil. I have yet to watch this. I do like Naruto. I have seen basically everything from the original series besides the ending episodes where it gets into filler territory after Sasuke gets taken and they do all the catch the bug thing and go find Sasuke. That's the only part I never really finished through that part on Hulu. But here's the Naruto movie. It's the only Naruto movie I do own, and I get to watch it, and I got it for like $5-10, I think, like a year or so ago. And I do want to watch it, and it's been on my intended to watch list for a while now. I just haven't got to it yet. One of my favorite animes of all time here, Yu Yu Hakusho. I have seasons 1 and seasons 2. Sadly, I still need to get season 3 and 4. It is a really good anime series. If you people now who probably like something like Bleach or even Naruto, you probably would really love this series. It does feel very similar. It's like those shows back in the 90s, basically. And I never really finished this either. I got to like the end. Like, I watched it online like years ago, and I got through like the first, I think, 3 seasons, and I got to the end, or somewhere near the end of season 3, I think. Somewhere near the end of the series, I believe, and I never really went back and finished it. So that means it's a lot more important to me to have to get books 3 and 4 to actually complete the collection. Trigun complete series. I do love me some Trigun. Take cowboys, take action and space, mix it all together. Kind of like a spaghetti western in space. And Bash the Stampede is a really cool character. And I did remember watching that online years ago too, and I had to buy it so I can actually be able to watch it. And for a classic anime from like the 90s, it's really, really worth it. It has comedy and action. It mixes them fairly well together too. More recent anime-ish, Dead Man Wonderland, the complete series on DVD. I have watched this. I did watch it when Toonami came back in 2012. Welcome back. Sadly, I did have to change the batteries in my camera. They kind of died when I was talking about Dead Man Wonderland, so I'm going to quickly finish this off before I move on, because I didn't really finish it. Kind of cut me off in the middle. I did like the series on Toonami when they brought it back. It was basically this series and Cashin Sins that really caught my interest back when when Toonami came back on the on TV in 2012. I really do like this series. It kind of has that violence factor, the blood, death, and everything. The sad thing about this, like I mentioned with when I mentioned with Cat Planet Cuties, there's no real clear conclusion ending to this. This is more so there's like the villains not defeated. I don't want to try to spoil it for you because a lot of you guys are probably watching it now on Toonami, which I think last night they finished the next run of it, the current run they were doing. I think they finished it. But if you haven't watched it, it's not really speaking much like because I think this was kind of known for a while. It's a really good anime. You should still watch it. I'm not saying that, but the ending, the enemy never really gets defeated. They beat one enemy. It doesn't really conclude a whole lot what the story leads up to. And this is another anime that either A, needs to be continued, or B, get restarted. Do like a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Sailor Moon Crystal type thing. Start this over, finish it, do it more close to the manga. Because as far as I heard, they kind of took some liberties here and didn't really go close to it. And that's probably why they didn't finish it. I don't know. Besides just the fact that the creator got pregnant. And then all the earthquake stuff and all that stuff in Japan probably back in the day. I don't know what it was, but there's reasons. And as well as the fact that I think it's more popular in America than it is in Japan. But yeah.